Welcome back, everybody. I am just some dude on the internet, and you are watching Project Zomboid Build 42, the Frank Fultz Chronicles. I believe this is episode number 28. Cannot believe it has been this long. Let's kick it off with a little bit of a recap. I don't got an animation today because it's been a very busy week, but I'll try my best. All right. So we currently are residing at our northern safe house right now with our functional car and keys that we have. Take a look at it, walk around. We built this little safety net around our space because a few episodes ago we had a series of zombies break down the door and one tried to break in through the window. So spent about 4 hours worth of my life building all of these walls, going back and forth between McCoy Lumber Co. and here and chopping up some of these amazing little trees that we got back here. We've moved the Jenny to the back of the house. So we've got power, we've got some rain collector barrels that we have set up over here and some additional storage outside. We've moved a lot of our rotten food, or all of it, into this composter here so we can make some room in our fridge for the fresh things. Now, this is not our only place that we have on the map where we are able to stay. We currently also reside on Main Street, which is a little bit more in the middle of town. We also collected some planks over there. We were planning on sealing that up to make it a little bit more safe as well. So that means that we got 2 spots here that we can bounce back and forth between. We've also reclaimed the northern and southern gas stations, power delivered to both. A little bit of an update on how far we have come. Oh yeah, I got a lot of weight on me right now. A little bit of an update on how far we have come. We are currently 842 zeds killed with 1 month, 10 days, and 23 hours, just shy of 1 month and 11 days survived. And that favorite weapon being our crowbar. The latest and greatest on our skills here, we have been upgrading the mechanic skill and our electrical skill. We've got both to 3 at this point. So we are now finally able to start things without keys. We can hotwire vehicles. And we've been reading books. We got a lot of knowledge ready for us to work on. We started on our welding last episode and we're able to crank it to level 1. So in terms of what we're going to be doing today, I'm thinking, we got the keys to the castle, friends. There's a little bit more for us to explore in town. We need to go collect our goodies that we have over here for like our fishing supplies and other camping stuff. So we're going to be probably scouting the remainder of Muldraugh today, going on a little bit of a drive, take a look at the industrial side of things, and expand our map reach as we start doing things. We can get that game audio back in here. And I see we got some viewers here. Hey, Jod, welcome. Good to see you, man. Yeah, the surviving has been going. We have survived the latest Build 42 updates. So we are moving forward in this Frankverse. Now, let's take a little bit of a stock of where we are in terms of the heavy things really quick. So let me take a rest here. It is 1:20 p.m. in the afternoon. What is so heavy? What are we carrying right now? Ball peen, hammer, flashlight, cigarettes. We got grass and stuff. Yeah, and I think I might be wearing... Yeah, I'm wearing the welder's mask. Let's go ahead and unequip that. So we were trying to upgrade welding at the... endish of last episode, kind of like the last third, because we want to be able to repair our broken vehicles over time, right? I'm inevitably going to slam into more things because I always do, and it would be great to be able to rebuild that. So to my knowledge, I believe that we're going to need to get that welding up to level 3, between 3 and 5, really. But grinding it toward 3 would be a very good choice for us to make. Our carpentry is already at level 7, but some other skills that I was thinking that we could tap into here in the near future is our fishing skill, the trapping, and foraging. It would be nice for us to start leveling out more of our survival skills, as well as animal care. I wanted to collect some of the nearby chickens and build up hutches in here and kind of just create a little space for us to get some renewable food. Pottery right now is not at the top of my list for the time being. nor is glass making. I'm thinking, like I said, welding, maybe getting into tailoring here too. And then in terms of our combat stats, maintenance is already at level 5. We have that 8 times multiplier. So this thing is, we're set for the next, 6, 7, 6, 7. We've got our axe at almost level 2. Long blunt is kind of what we've been carrying through with our crowbar. So we've been doing decent in that regard. Our aiming is so close to being level 3. We've been going on quite the shooting spree. And just a quick look at our weight, 79 with 1 arrow pointing up. So we are not feeling worse for wear. Now I had been reading aiming 2. This is really only going to finish so like 3 and 4. Yeah, and we're working toward level 3 right now. Jod says pottery and glass making is useless. LOL, blacksmithing though is well worth the investment. Good to know. Yeah, I figured that I would get to those guys a little bit after I do some welding and stuff. Okay, what is in the backpack that we have? We have a map of Rosewood. Did I already read this? Let's take a look. We have now. All right, and then this is 13.58 out of 22. Yeah, we've got a respirator, 4 packs of cigarettes, so we're doing pretty decent on that. We've been carrying this Molotov around for a hella long time too. But don't worry, we will find an opportune time for us to engage in that. Let's drop this book for now. I'm going to place some of the construction materials out here because I inevitably am going to be like, where the hell has any of this stuff gone? We don't need the grass clippings, so I'll just put them with the compost for right now. And I'll plop that gardening trowel here. All right, we, for some reason, have an additional pair of boots. So I'm gonna place the additional boots out here. There we go, here we go. Rotate them. All right, we will put our boonie hat back on. Let's get our glasses. All right, we're gonna take a smoke. Now, we also have our McCoy van that we have brought back that it has 111 trunk capacity right now. We have been plopping all of the materials from the cars that we have been dismantling inside of here. So I'm probably gonna drop this off in the basement. Speaking of which, take a look at this basement storage that we have. We've got a freezer situated down here, bunch of table space, spots for mechanical tools, all that. We're gonna put those, and this has paint, 25 out of 25, 25 out of 25. So we won't be going in there. Okay, so we've got a decent amount of room in these crates. We'll probably put them in the crates. So now that I'm a little bit more versed in understanding what is going to get us welding XP, we're going to go back and find more of the cars to dismantle. We can even go back to the elementary school and dismantle lockers. I believe that will get us experience, but just going to the electrical store and dismantling washers and like stoves and stuff like that does not yield us any experience. Kind of tragic. But we're going to carry around propane tanks because now I'm a little bit more wise. And as far as ammunition goes, we got 28 rounds on us. We got 1 clip of 15. Let's take a look. These are 1911s. Boxes of batteries. I do think that did we get, let me check my crafting. I thought that we had the ability to make the bomb now. Let's see. Bomb. Yeah, add remote trigger to bomb. Make an aerosol. Okay, so we still haven't found the make aerosol bomb, but we have found add the remote trigger to bomb. To a smoke bomb. Need newspaper, cold pack, and rag. That's cool. And I don't think that we're going to be able to make the pipe bomb. I think you have to be an engineer to do that. All right. Let's drop this garbage bag out here. TV remote, I'll plop inside here. Oh yeah, look at this. And we brought back like pancake mix, all that fun stuff. There are some rich homes that we have not yet gone into either that would probably contain some good like food and stuff for us to inspect. All right, and then our military backpack, our military bag. It's got a lot of matchbooks, granola bars, some caffeine pills. All right, our canteens. Yeah, and this looks like we're finally out of water here. And it has not been raining since we have, since we have dropped these guys to container info. Yep, no rain. Sad. I gotta move my cat off my desk before she knocks my beer down. Hang on one second. Shout out to my wife for getting a blue moon the other day. Okay. Let's deliver some of this stuff downstairs here that we don't need. Aluminum fragments, copper scrap. Yeah, let's move it all. My goodness, yeah, there's a lot of stuff here. Okay. Oh, dude, come on. We're gonna do shift, click. There we go. Yeah, so the general guidance is disassemble the things, take the stuff that you have disassembled and then use them to assemble new things. Kind of similar to carpentry in that respect. I've never really been one to work too much on metalworking is what it used to be known as, and now it is just welding in this. And then they introduced the blacksmithing mechanics as well. But we did get some spare engine parts from dismantling all of these things, which is going to prove very, very useful whenever we inevitably need to fix our engines. All right, yeah, and then this holds only 20. Let's just put this stuff in here. All right, let's go from our aluminum fragments all the way down here to that. And I'm gonna probably end up drinking one of the soda pops here so that my guy stop being thirsty. Almost empty. Yeah, we got muscle strain now from our core, holding all this stuff. Spare engine parts, they only weigh 1. Okay, and that filled 37.9 out of 60. And then we've got our empty stuff. Okay, cool. Cuckoo, ka-choo, my friends. Welding torch is not fully depleted yet. Okay, and then we've still got broken iron. Carrying around the Bible. You never know when you're gonna need it. All right, I'll put the broken iron pipe. And I think that's about really it. I don't see anything else of value in here. Okay, cool. I'm gonna eat that milk chocolate bar, or actually, hang on. Do we have still got the stuff to make pasta, don't we? Is it a pasta kind of day? I got 3 empty pots of water. Okay, so yeah, we had been cooking up a storm. Inside our fridge here, we got our butter, we got stale eggs that are uncooked. We have chicken at the other house. There's cereal here. Okay. And pancake mix, instant popcorn, Maybe we finished the rest of the pasta. Tragic. I think we did. But you know what? I'm gonna make some popcorn. We're gonna put that instant popcorn in the microwave. Go to our settings here. Temperature. Set it to 2. We'll do 3 minutes. Almost cooked. Needs a little bit more. Turn it back on. All right. Instant popcorn. All right, there we go. We got 120 calories. It's gonna take 13. And it ain't burnt, Chief. Hell to the yeah. All right, that's gonna make us a little bit tired. Let's go ahead and drink some Diet Cola. All right, and then I've got an empty pop can. I'll just toss in there for now. All right, we're gonna move the waters into the bag. I will move the lighter into the fanny pack. All right, we're all good. We're all set. So I'm gonna load a couple of propane tanks into the car. All right, how many do we got here? We got 5. And taking a look at them. Sweet. We're gonna take, so this weighs 8. So let's grab 1, 2, yeah, I'm gonna grab this one. And we'll end up consolidating some of these. Let's also, yeah, let's maybe from this one refill the welding torch. And then this one, I think, are we able to... I know that you're able to combine them, but I guess I'll do that later. I'm okay. This will help me drive around and dismantle some stuff. That one was probably empty. All right, 2 full propane tanks in the side, and I think I might have put a propane tank in the passenger seat as well. No, I did not. All right, we read that. All right, so the 2 propane tanks are in the back. Sweet, and then I am able to right click and refill my torch, my welding torch, from within. Heck yeah. All right, and you can see my health is going to be improving over time. I took a little bit of damage from holding all of that stuff. Okay, there were a couple more cars for us to disassemble. The door is blocked. God damn it. All right, we're good, we're good. Move this car out. And we have left our car at McCoy along with the other van that is up there that has like about 110 or 111 capacity. And you know what we're gonna do, since I feel like going on a little bit of an adventure here. We are going to... I just need to see which road I'm going to take here. All right, so we're going to head out this road. We're going to go up toward North Walker Road and then explore up over here. I want to get that uncovered. We're going to keep our eyes peeled for other cars that we can, or other wrecks that we are going to be able to disassemble. All right, there's a nice big car. Yeah, okay, we got some hordes here. Ooh, shit. Okay, so decent amount of zeds up here. Let's mark them on the map. Because now we're in territory that we really haven't defended much. Okay. All right, we got more friends over here. Let's bob and weave, friends. All right, I believe this is going to be where I want to make this turn. This is Harris. Okay, no, so I can go up. This one will end. We want to go up a little bit more, and we're going to make a right. All right, so you got some burgers. You got a laundromat, buffet up here. And now you're going to start entering the higher end side of town. But we're going to cut across North Main Street. We got, or actually maybe before we do that, let's take a look at the industrial. We can drive up here and kind of whip it back around, but there is a little cabin that we're going to be able to explore that way. See what we're working with here. See if there's any survivor homes or anything. All right, so now you're talking more of the industrial tier. Some Spiffo van. Smoky's Saloon and Restaurant. I'm a little bit interested. All right, let's make sure we don't got... Okay, we got one guy heading our direction. I can handle one guy. While that guy's heading our way, let's take a look inside. Oh, dude, look at that. You get an arcade machine. That's sweet. Some trash here, garbage bag. Flyer for a nursing home. Let's head over toward the Spiffo van, too. I want to take a look at it. One whack kill. Love to see it. All right. Okay, and then it looks like we did bring 2 more that are on their way. How is this trunk? It is locked. Damn it. Not this one. Son of a bitch. Now, I imagine that glass making will be helpful in the future to make glass to make windows and car windows and all that other stuff. But sounds like it's still in a very early state here in Build 42. Okay. There is one other one. We'll see if they make it to us. Let's investigate, see how these cars are doing health-wise. Everything's looking fantastic. 64% gas remaining in this station wagon. How's our Spiffo van doing here? 93% gas. Loving it. Okay, and this is... God, why they gotta lock it on me? They're like, hey, you want inside, you're gonna have to break a window. And if I break a window, there's likely going to be an alarm. And if there's an alarm, then there's going to be a party. And if there's a party, then there's gonna have to be some chaos. All right, how about this van? This one looks a little bit more worse for the wear. All right, no gas in this one. And it is a little bit beat up. But it is, you're able to get inside of it. There's a lifestyle magazine, club hammer, leather gloves, got some stone blocks, and a large, smooth, flat stone. That's actually pretty decent. Helpful for the cause, you know. All right. So that's going to help masonry, and we have not been doing anything. There are keys on the ground here. Keys to the fucking Spiffo van. Let's do it. Oh, wow. Wow. Who would have thought? Hell yeah. And it's got 126 brother and cigarettes in here. Spiffo. Praise Spiffo. And we've got some rotten burgers, fries, all that other stuff. So we won't touch that. But there's ginger ale in a plastic bottle, some duct tape. That's what's up. Okay. And a server hat. You got a Spiffo server hat. All right. Doors are unlocked. Hell yeah, man. You love to see it. Okay, well, we have our propane and stuff in there. Since we got a lot of gas, let's just kind of go on a little bit of a run. And actually, Jesus Christ, before I do that, maybe I should not slam into a tree. We're gonna go get a little bit of our thirst quenched here. Hopefully I didn't just fuck up the capacity. It was like 126 or something. I just need to go into the kitchen and refill my waters, you know? Getting a little bit thirsty. There is a Zed in there. Chrome industrial sink, we are gonna fill. Frying pans. All right, cool. Get a little bit of some rotten stuff here. Yep. Things that are rotten and uncooked. All right, and then we will unlock that door. All right, you got some powder here. You got yeast. All right, you got coffee liqueur, wine, whiskey, some more Molotov stuff, brandy, scotch, simple syrup, more cigarettes, box of sparklers, which we will always take for the explosives. Got some sealed beers. You know, and our guy is looking like he could use a little bit of some cigs, so we're gonna move one of these guys up here and smoke one. All right, that Zed I think is in this room right here. He's either there or he's upstairs. Nope, he's right there. What the hell is that? Is that a bat, like a shower cap? It is. Key to Smokies. All right, that looks to be the key to this place. All right, we're gonna turn our flashlight on real quick. Just wanna see what else is in the immediate area. Got a dirty bandage. Billiards table, okay. Well, this looks to be like a nice little cozy spot. Unfortunately, there's nothing else that I need from here at the current moment. We are gonna move our waters. And then I wanna double check the capacity. It's 125, all right. I think we've lost one capacity from me being a genius. All right, oh, come on. Can I get in? Not sure what is going on here. Let me in the car, please. I guess I'll go get in from over here. All right, let's go. There we go. That was weird. Wouldn't let me. All right, so driving around a little bit more here. I believe if we go up, yeah, the industrial is going to be on this side. Okay, cool. So we're going to whip it back around. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ with the sound effects. God damn it. All right. So this is the industrial side. Got more storage here. Looks to be an auto parts store. All right, and I need to be careful because if I want to dismantle anything, I've left all of my tools or my ability to refill that stuff farther away. Okay, we're gonna swing by here, just doing a little scouting, you know. Ooh, okay, that looks like concrete powder. All right, burlap sack, tire pump. All right, somebody broke out of here before we start searching through any of this shit. People were having a paint party in here, man. Well, good to know. This is another spot for us to get paints. And out of curiosity, what are we looking at? What is this over here? Okay, so that's a welding torch that's on the ground. Rake, whetstone, snow shovel, more gardening trowel. Okay, this is gonna be paint. We're talking concrete plaster. There's epoxy. More respirator, another hatchet. Some sacks. Bag of concrete powder, bag of plaster powder. A shovel, plastering trowel. We got 4 bags of concrete over here. Let's drop those on the ground. Because we do have buckets. We have sacks of sand. More concrete powder. I'm interested in sacks of sand, the concrete powder, and plaster. All right, that's all good. Sacks of sand are already on the ground. There's a rubber hose. Let's grab the concrete powder there, put it on the ground. Yeah, so the plaster would be used to plaster high-level wooden walls and requires a bucket of water. Well, good for us. We have that. I'm gonna go ahead and grab the plaster, put it in the backpack. At least this is the only plaster in here that I have seen. Oh, I've got my pistol. Okay, hang on. So I'm gonna add a little note here, and we're gonna say 5 bags of concrete. Now this becomes important because if y'all have not been around since the last iteration of the Frank Fultz Chronicles, we ended up out in the woods, and when we were out in the woods did what the woods does, and it takes over. But you are able to stop the progression of those little baby trees that want to just absolutely decimate your fun. You can stop that by either having wooden floors or concrete on the ground. So can't get into any of these. Scrap electronics, sneakers, magazine, delicious meals, and good cooking. So we'll learn to make bread dough or prepare bread dough, baguette, biscuits. All right, and then we will prepare breaded shrimp, prepare 2 breaded onion rings, make 4 cabbage rolls, make guacamole. Hell yeah. And then this is just a book on computing. I'll take it. And then you got some old newspapers. All right, what is this book? The Angels Aren't There. There's mortar and pestle, empty jar. I will take the jar. And we already have a mortar and pestle. But the jar's gonna be good for storing your food long-term and canning. At least we were able to get into the main industrial side over here. Wow, this person, maybe we were here before. I don't think that we were here before. Photograph of a saloon. Ambrash March. Okay. And you got your door hinges and your doorknobs. I'm gonna take those because those are kind of hard to come by in terms of like, I want to have them at the ready and not have to go dismantle doors whenever I need to build the door. So I'm just gonna pick up these hinges and stuff that were left behind. Hinges and doorknobs. What up, Kitten Red? Welcome, welcome. Nothing much. We are currently exploring around a little bit, going to the fringes of town. We've got plenty more space for us to investigate, but we're stealing some plaster while we're here. We found a Spiffo van that's got like 125 capacity. You could say Frank is unhinged, badumch. You never skip a beat with your wit, Kitten Red. Love it. All right, the hinge, the doorknob, we'll throw those in the back. Now, any sort of auto mechanic tools that we want to bring back, these engine parts on the ground too. Suspensions. Okay, we got Kentucky Observer here. We got knee pads, bejeweled, lug wrench, tire for a standard vehicle. Now, this is considered a heavy vehicle, I think. Let's just double check that. Yeah, vehicle type is heavy duty. How's the suspension doing here? Front left, doing all right. All right, to uninstall that. The recommended skill of mechanics, 3 out of 6. So you have to uninstall the tire. You need a wrench and a jack. Okay, so I think if we can find a jack in here, that's a suspension for a heavy duty vehicle. So that would be helpful. We already have wrenches at home. Index. Okay. We're going to take the tarp. There's a heavy chain. Nuts and bolts. And then electrical wire. Okay, well, looks to be nothing here. Okay, what is that? Ah, car battery charger. Yes. Hell yes. We will gladly take that. That's a big find. Green marker, paperwork. That's just paperwork on the ground. High flyer, fine wine connoisseur, and then a bunch of trash on the ground. All right, we will fill. You know what? I mean, fill the empty jar as well. Why not? All right. And then you got cola here. Here's the wrench. Okay, so unfortunately, I don't think that there's a jack, but there is a car battery charger. Standard vehicle tire. Suspension for the performance vehicles. And bejeweled. Okay. Let's put what we got in the back here. That tarp, car battery charger, and then let's open the hiking backpack. Yeah, there's that bag of plaster powder that we're gonna want to move. We'll move the hinges. Box of sparklers, the sheet metal scrap. Yeah, okay, cool. All right, that stuff is moved. We will move the magazines and everything into the glove box, which there's a cigarette pack in there too. We could find cartons of cigarettes. That would be the life. All right, this jar of water, putting it in the bag, put the canteen away. Lug wrench going in the back. All right. And our character is still, he's a little bit tired, but I mean, if we wanted, we can continue our exploration. I won't take the caffeine pills. I was considering it, but I'll hold off. I want to see, is this door locked? Yep. Hey, we can disassemble the door though. You know what? I'll take it. I don't know if anyone's on the other side of this door. You never know. Okay, and then that still has, okay, cool. So we still got a decent amount. Box of nails, ear protector, welding rods, 2 car battery chargers, a tire iron. I'm hearing a Zed. All right, hang on. Probably coming from over there. All right, I don't need to go grabbing that stuff, but good to see what's in there. All right, we'll pop around the back. Now, like I said, I think that, yeah, we can go to the end of this road. We're gonna do a little bit of scouting here. Press F, turn on our flashlight. Now this way. Yep, okay, so we still gotta move, okay. Whoa, okay, so we got a couple of friends here. Now you are in the side of town that has the trailer park, my friends. Great place to go looking for some cigarettes. All right, there is space up north here. We are going to turn. Follow this way. Give us a little bit of a taste of what exists in the north. So this is a more secluded spot. All right, let's, I want to back up. All right, popping out over here. You can see that we are indeed doing less damage. All right, we're gonna take care of our friends. All right, things are looking all right back here. All right, we got a couple more that are following us. That's fine. Oh! Jesus, okay. 2 more, 3 more. There's 1, 2, okay. Okay. I'm falling back just a little bit. Play this smart. All right, we're doing okay. I don't hear anyone coming from behind or to the side of me. All right, yeah, we're getting exhausted now. A little too much exertion. All right, dead bodies on the ground. We're all good, nothing of real value. All right, I'm hopping back in the car momentarily. All right, I got one in front. I got at least two behind. It is 10 p.m. All right, got another one coming through the woods here. Now, it would not be wise of me to pull out the pistol right now. Just judging by how many I saw in the immediate area in the trailer park. All right. All right. Let's pull open the map. So yeah, this is a nice little kind of secluded house on the side of town. I believe that going north, there's a little bit more of an industrial space. Yes, okay, cool. Yeah, so there is a little train station to the north and a northern farm as well. So this is the trailer park area that I was telling you about. Tons and tons of people over there. Would probably be worth our while to, you know, start an alarm or something, kind of drag all of them in. We could maybe go to town, have a gunfight over there. But in terms of being nomadic, you know, it would probably be wise for us to establish at least a little bit of a shelter right here. This is probably, you know, one of the northernmost spots in Muldraugh before you leave town. And I'm going to turn the flashlight off there, or turn flashlight on. I want to walk inside. All right, so I see two. All right. If the Zed gods are friendly to me, there won't be a ton of them over here. All right, I think that we're good. All right, and this is an example of a space that is already kind of pre-fortified. Yeah, it's already pre-fortified. I mean, you'd only have to put really a gate here. Let's walk around the home. Make sure that we're not going to try to sleep in a space that could kill us. Anyone in here? All right. I don't see anyone in that room. Nothing from this angle. We're able to get in. Wonderful. Okay. Anyone in the bathroom? There you have it, my friends. Okay, cool. So we now have a safer space to the north. There's a thimble in it too. A little bit of peanut butter. Awesome. Got a baking pan. A little bit of margarine that's already in here. All right, what is this? A cigar box. Ooh, okay. Are there cigars in there? Nothing. Ah, shame. I mean, a cigar box would be a great place to put the cigarettes that we've collected. We got another fan of Dungeons and Dragons. Got that RPG manual, Adventurer Manager Imagination book. rulebook, you get the 007 Bloody Axe of Karn the Slayer. Guerrilla Radio teaches makeshift ham radio. Okay, so we've got another recipe. And then teaches makeshift walkie-talkie. The Thompsons, Halloween House of Terror. We got TV remotes. Improve your house. All right, there does not appear to be pillows. That is okay. At least whenever we sleep here, the comfort level is good. So we are a little bit uncomfortable. So let's, probably because we're wearing the welder's mask. So let's take that welder's mask off. Let's smoke a cigarette. All right. We are a little bit hungry, so let's see what we got in our backpack here. Let's go ahead and eat that milk chocolate bar. Let's go ahead and eat 3 cigarettes. All right, things are getting a little bit heavy on our person. Yeah, I see that. Awesome. All right, and then let's go ahead and sleep. Oh, waking up with a panic attack. All right, we're going to go ahead and smoke another cigarette. Oh, you can roll the dice too? Let me see. Let me go back over there and see. Oh, dude, you can. Hell yeah. All right. We absolutely need to take these now. Putting them in the fanny pack. All right, let's roll the D20. See what we get. It's a 3. That is hilarious. There's a 6, 2. Okay, dude, that's so funny. I had no idea. Now it looks like I keep seeing some warnings about my bit rate, so hopefully nothing bad is going to go on with the stream. Sometimes that happens. If that does, don't you worry, I've been recording the whole time. Speaking of recording, I have been having a nightmare of a time lately. I changed formats. I was recording in fragmented MOV, and then it was taking quite some time. Oh, do I got to smoke that? Yeah, there we go. It was taking quite some time for me to be able to just export and turn around. So I was changing my encoding settings, recording to an MKV file and like remuxing last week. And that led to all kinds of bullshit this last week of like frames being corrupted and all of that. So I'm still working on spinning out some of the stuff that I've already recorded last week. Just know that I've kind of been dealing with some technical hurdles on my end. Because I got to find ways for us to speed things up, you know? Bringing to your attention real quick, if you have not already, there is a poll on the channel you can take. It's asking what type of content you would like to see. Right now, RimWorld is in the lead. This is the final warning for that poll. Just want to give everybody an opportunity to vote in it to see what type of content that you would like to enjoy more of. But it looks like RimWorld is winning, so we might be adding RimWorld to the mix alongside Project Zomboid. All right, that aluminum foil I'm going to take as well. And there's margarine. We've got, I think there was in the microwave. No, there's no popcorn in there. Is the popcorn, there's peanut butter. Yeah, there we go. Instant popcorn. All right, we're going to, oh, shit. I can't turn that on. Never mind, there's no power here yet. All right, well, here's what I'm going to do. Since my guy is awake, we're going to take ourselves some Where's our caffeine pills? Do I have them in here? Yeah. Take some caffeine pills, even though we're not tired. We're going to do this preemptively and head out into the world. So it's 3:50 in the morning. We are currently over here. The train station is up to the north. And then there is also a farm to the north. But even more north, we've got like a little smaller town with a gas station, and there exists a lake house that is like further up here. Not saying that we're going to reside there, but it is a place that we can check out. I do think that it would probably be in our best interest to whip around, drive around this respective area and see the type of zeds that we're dealing with. We're probably going to end up having to slay them, but we want to make our way back in town, pick up our goodies. We left our vehicle. Where did that vehicle get left? Somewhere over here. We'll find it, yeah. But we're gonna head out this morning, and you know what? Like, while we're here, let's take the peanut butter. Peanut butter and tea bag, always good finds. And then I'll take the margarine. All right, last thing I will do before heading out is fill up my water. All right, anything fun in here? Garbage bag, take it. And anything in the mailbox? Nolan's used cars. All right, so if we kept going up this road, it will take us out of town. So we are gonna head this way. We're heading back. To get a better idea of what the surrounding area is looking like in terms of the populace. All right, so this is gonna be dead end if you turn left here. If we drive through this road and take it until the first right. All right, that's an option. Bunch of zeds. Bunch of zeds here. Oh, is this the... No. Okay, it's like that doesn't look like a real road. All right, there is a traffic blocking thing there. We'll keep going down this road. Ooh, okay, so there's a wreckage here. Ooh, we got a lot of wrecks. Hell yeah, okay. Door's blocked. Okay, I gotta move this back. All right, lots of vehicles for us to disassemble in here. All right, so we're gonna want to bring our propane back this way. I will mark this on the map. Absolutely a candidate. There is a chance that we can find more propane, in the surrounding area, but we live right next to a spot. So that's fantastic. The more that you know. All right, right here, this is going to be the car wreck. Yeah, car wrecks to dismantle. All right, and then we took our Spiffo van when we went up. I think it was like somewhere over here, honestly. So 3 bags of concrete, that we left up there. So let's go ahead and continue into the surrounding neighborhood. So we've got some car wrecks to dismantle. And then I believe that we have like planks and stuff over here as well. At Smokies, this is, I don't believe. Oh, yeah, is it at Smokies? Yeah. I just ran over a fucking box. Okay. All right, here, hang on. Gonna deal with some of the friends. Yeah, I think that you're right. I think it's at Smokies. Had I known that there were so many wrecks over here, or like, had I remembered that, I absolutely would have gone here much sooner. And then we have the other hotel that exists down south right here. All right, nothing on the ground. Okay, and then this has steel sheets. So that's really it over here, steel sheets. With shit. Yeah, and I remember, so our house is directly through the woods over there. Let's drive around real quick inside the trailer park, and I want to see if I can find some propane tanks for us to pick up. Do a quick little patrol around the neighborhood. Literally nothing. Okay. And behind. All right, bobbing in. Keep our eyes peeled for some survivor cars and our survivor homes and stuff too. What is over here? Just trash. Okay, propane tanks. Propane tanks. What the hell is on the roof right there? All right. Turn that off. Got one friend. I can deal with one friend. All right. Fantastic. Let's do a quick update. I'm going to check and see where our subscribers are at. We are currently at 117 subscribers. Just a quick update for you all. We have made over 1.1 thousand watch hours in the last 28 days, which is an incredible feat. I have been wanting to hit 3,000 public watch hours by the end of 2025. And we are just blowing that out of the water. So I want to say thank you to everybody that has watched in, listened, stayed. I never would have thought that I'd see several hundred hours worth of my content being watched by people. So just wanted to give everybody that update. We have been seeing more and more people hitting that subscribe button. More and more people are watching. And the channel is really experiencing like a great natural organic growth phase. So I just wanted to let you all know that is going well. All right, we are gonna drop these propane tanks off in here. And I mean, at this point, we're gonna take these and start dismantling some of the wreckage that is behind us. All right, and then I can take the lighter, the barbecue lighter, put the instant popcorn away. But yeah, 117 subscribers, and it was not that long ago that we were crossing like 70. So I'm just completely blown away by the kindness and the community that's forming. So from the bottom of my heart, I just want to say thank you. I've really enjoyed building a community and seeing the community form around Project Zomboid. It is a community of great people. That's the kind of people I want in my community as well. All right. Yeah, the Waits Motel instead of the Bates Motel. Classic humor. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, and life has been insanely busy for me recently outside of the Zomboid YouTube realm. So you haven't seen me uploading many shorts as of recent, but I'm going to try my best to get one or two popped out here soon. We got dozens and dozens of hours of awesome content. All right, driving around. Laundromat. It's giving us an idea of what it is that we're dealing with here. Sweet, and this puts us back on track to get to our home. Sweet. Yep, our home is right over here. All right, let's deal with this dude. And out of curiosity, how is the car battery on this? Because we now have car battery chargers. That battery is at 89%. All right. Well, I'm gonna drop some stuff off inside here, and then we can go back, maybe collect the propane tanks from the other car. Brother, this is so tight. It's too tight of a squeeze. I gotta fix that. Okay. Now there is a whole bunch of rotten food. All right, we'll take anything that is rotten here, and I'm gonna plop that in the composter. Take those paper bags. All right, I'm gonna hold on to the tarp. We will, what do I wanna drop off? The plaster. All right. And at this point too, I mean, I might bring a cheap sleeping bag and put it in that as well. All right, we've got some remotes. We're gonna just kind of start putting some of this stuff down. There's peanut butter. Got more nails. Bag of plaster, that's gonna go down. All right, all the rotten stuff we will tuck away. Empty sack or partly empty sack bag required to add compost. Okay. And in terms of what else I'm working with here, got margarine and peanut butter and cigarettes and aluminum. I got more aluminum right here anyway. Place that item. My paper bags that have like nothing in them. All right, and then I got another garbage bag. all of the garbage bags in one spot. There we go. We got 5. All right, cool. So there's enough for another one. And then we've got our magazines that we have not read yet. Don't you worry. I know people probably want me to read some of this stuff. We will get to it. Just got my different priorities at the moment. Awesome. All right, we're gonna go visit Smokies again, get our propane tanks, throw them in the car, and then we are just gonna go to town and start disassembling shit. A lot of zeds. Holy cow. Spiffos. Jesus. All right, there are 2 cars there, so yeah, I passed it. Whip around. Bunch of these zeds think they're so smart, huh? Okay. Now, where the hell was this? Is it back a little bit? All right, hang on. Gotta find out where Smokies is again. All right, so we went around the corner. All you can eat buffet. Yeah, it's not there. Oh, okay. So yeah, it's up toward the end of the bend, which that would put us. Okay, it's up there. Got it. So we're heading the right way. I wonder if there's any propane in there. Hang on. Greed is what leads me here. Oh shit. Thought that was their digital watch. It turns out it was mine. All right, here I am being inconspicuous as fuck, boys. Let's do this. Make sure I got nobody coming after me. A heavy chain, steel sheet. What is this book on the ground? Electrical 1. Wanted to see if there's any propane. Ah, there's people. How many zeds are we at now? Hang on, let's see. We are at 868 at 1 month, 11 days, and 17 hours into the apocalypse. All right, this guy somehow did not see me. Aha! Empty beer bottles. Anyone in here? No. Hello. Make sure nobody else is in here. I just realized that was kind of dumb. Animal Care 3. All right. Hey, we got an acoustic guitar. Nice. Photograph of a building being built. Why some live and some died. All right, anything in the TV? Nothing, no VHS tapes. Got some rotten bologna, some good pickles. You know what? Always a fan of a pickle. Gonna have to smoke a cigarette too. Guy's getting a little bit ornery. While he's smoking, let's investigate. Got rotten beef patties. Now with the rotten beef patties, I thought I could turn that into bait. Let's go to fishing. Oh shit. Okay, hang on. Jesus. All right, hang on. Gonna deal with this. I think there was another guy out here. Man, for a foggy day, you sure can see through it. All right, he's down. Anyone else? Oh shit, we got a basement. It is locked. It's always worth just checking out some of these homes that we haven't actually taken a look at yet. See if we can find anything of immediate value. All right, that guy's down. All right, nothing of outward value that I can see here. There were two other survivor homes that are in town that I don't think that I have taken a look at yet. We'll probably get to them soon. Okay, what is this? Prepare sushi. Fuck yeah. An extra small parcel with licorice and maple syrup. Yeah, fuck yeah. Brother. That's a good find in the mail. Find some licorice in the trash too. Love some trash licorice to go with my mail maple syrup. Hit Vid's job ad in March Ridge. Okay, so that points us in the direction. We got some peanut butter in the trash, but you know what? That's still good to me. Anything here? Muldraugh police. We've absolutely already said hello. Okay, there's a shack that way. We're gonna keep going up. Investigate these couple houses. All right, and then in terms of weight, we are going to go ahead and move that parcel. Peanut butter, margarine. We'll move all of our flyers. Magazine. All right, I'm gonna smoke a cigarette. And we're actually doing pretty decent on our Moodle management now. Okay. Oh, did I not finish smoking it? I did not, because I started moving. Body in the bathroom may have a key to the basement. Okay, that's a good point. I will. Yeah, let's take a look. Let's take a look really quick. Any of these bodies too? Okay, no. All right, that one dude that was in the bathroom. Nope. He's got some toothpaste, some bleach. And you know what? While we're here, let's fill up that water bottle. And actually, he's got some cereal, so don't know how I missed that. Another bowl. We always want more bowls. Hell yeah. Okay. Moving on up. We're going to be part of the 4 Bull Club. All right. In terms of what we can move over, let's move that cereal, tea bag, empty bowl. I'm going to move the first aid kit in there as well. You store it in Riverside. Hardware in Irvington. Yeah, when we end up leaving Muldraugh, we're going to want to have some areas of interest. Damn it. Anyone home? Doesn't look like it. Got a beret. Roasting pan. Got bouillon. Paper bag. It's got rotten cornbread, rotten fried chicken. God damn it. Everything's bad all the time. I can never open anything and see, I don't know, like a cheesecake or something. Okay, and yeah, I mean, that seems pretty empty to me. All right, we're gonna go take a look at this shack. All right, that guy looks like he's got something sticking out of him. That's a crowbar. Okay. No way that they saw me. Okay. Being inconspicuous, I'm being inconspicuous, I'm being inconspicuous, you can't see me. Anyone in this house? That looks like a box of cereal, though. Shut up, Frank. Stop coughing. Oh. Well, it appears that we have been found. Oh, it's a fucking ice axe. Bro. Okay, that's new. Haven't seen that. Ice axe, bloody. Does a decent amount of damage. Let's attach it to my back. Ah, Jesus. All right. We'll let this one in. You're a darn fool. Hop in the window. All right. Rotten bowls of cereal, but we found more bowls, friends. And more cereal. And more milk. Okay, we found a key to a Chevrolet. Got a whisk. Or bologna. Rotten TV dinners. All right, salt, pepper, dry ramen noodles, and chips. This looks like Okay, yeah, and those are more bowls. Let's pour the rotten bowls of cereal on the ground. I am the bowl king. I am the king of all of the bowls. All bowls belong to me now. Photograph of a groom getting ready for his wedding. There's sandals, trophy. And nothing else in here. First aid 1. Rubber duck. I'll take the soap. All right. 10 a.m. in the morning. 10 a.m. in the morning. I just realized, dude, I hate when people say stuff like that, and I don't know why I just said that. 10 a.m. Oh shit. Yeah, and I wanted to see this house. Do I have any friends out here? There are chickens. I can put chickens on rope. It is repetitively redundant. All right, I'll go back in there in a moment. The chickens are a good find. I want to build a hutch, like I said. Son of a bitch. Oh. All right, well, we're gonna... Stuff is... Oh! Okay, so everyone in the neighborhood decided to go there. All right, so we're gonna do that classic retreat this way. All right, little Miss Crawler over here. All right, backing it up. All right, we're pulling out the ice pick. This would level up our axe, I think. Yeah. There he goes. And another one down. All right, this one has a key to the residence. All right, crowbar going back in my hands. Ice axe going in the backpack. Flashlight going in the backpack. How did not everybody leave the house yet? My God. All right, and we got another key to the residence. All right, seeming kind of safe over here. All right, we got dirty rags, scrap electronics, needles. All right, front door, you can let me in. Yep, this is where everybody came to party. All right. Anyone left? Ooh, a baseball bat. Another key to the residence. Angler teaches make fishing net, dismantle fishing net. Hell yes. Just more great things for us to find. Okay, anything in the TV? Nothing. Anything over here? Fruit jam, can of oats. Love making oatmeal. Packaged vegetables that are rotten. We got, yeah, more rotten food. Okay. Well, I'm quite happy with this scouting mission. Let's go plop this stuff in the car. Let's go get our propane tanks and then start doing some more disassembly. I'm glad that we were able to get some more food, non-perishable. I'm curious. I mean, with my axe, I could try to chop down the door. Yeah, here. Disassemble. Let's go back here. Let's ice axe, equip primary. We're gonna see. Come on. There it is. And there's a fucking window on the other side. I didn't even realize that. Damn it. All right, that just got me a saw blade, which I can put that in. I can use that as part of the baseball bat. All right, we got a hacksaw. I'm going to take that so I can disassemble things on the go, since I've forgotten to bring a hammer. I will also need a hammer, but all right. Let's plop some of our stuff back in the car. All right, ice axe going in there too. All right, we were gonna equip the crowbar in both of our hands and attach it to our back. Four empty bowls, the cook show, TV remote, more cereal, salt and pepper. Yeah, we got our flyers, the box of nails. There was the chickens, but I want to see if I can maybe go get the other car and tow it, and then we can see about grabbing the chickens and stuff. Whoa, okay, I just almost slammed into that. This is a nice 2-story house. Yep, there we are. This is where we left our other car. All right, we will attach this. Now the towing was a little bit wonky. Heavy duty vehicle pulling a heavy duty vehicle. Okay, so we are towing this guy. If we were to go back down Main Street all the way, we're gonna end up dropping car off right there. So straight down this street, or probably smarter if I get on the highway and then go until we hit West Garnetville. So it would literally be on the highway until we hit the first available through street. So let's do that. I think, am I able to get there from here? Yeah, I can. All right. Well, since I'm already facing this direction. Okay, hang on. There we go. There we go. Awesome. I don't like that this is like not lined up correctly. And I wish I had like a physical cue for the thing that I'm pulling here. Why is it such a pain in the ass too? Hang on. If I hop in this car. Okay, so I was just making sure that it's not like got the e-brake or something on. All right, it's taking a little bit for us to build up speed. Yeah, we're pulling a lot of shit. Back it up, pull forward. There you go. Back it up. Pull forward. Back it up. Pull forward. Ugh. God damn. There we go. Bro, it's so painfully slow. Ugh. And like when it loses its momentum, it just does not want to go anymore. All right, come on. 20 miles, 25 miles an hour. Yeah, see, look, it doesn't want to pull it. All right. I gotta fix the way it's lined up or something. Something happened to towing, man. It really is not what it was a couple of weeks ago or months ago. All right, bro. Maybe it's because it's a heavy thing pulling a heavy thing full of heavy stuff. I don't know. But I wish I could go more than like a leapfrog's jump before running out of momentum. Tow in reverse, it works better, says Jod. Oh, interesting. Oh, shit. Okay, well, if I'm going to do that, if I'm going to tow in reverse, first off, let's just see how far we are, because yeah, I need to... This is going to be a little while. Okay. We'll give it a try. Here, let's see if I can... detach this. All right, now that that is detached, all right, I'm gonna take this one, put it in front. You know what, like honestly, whipping it around this way. There we go. All right, that guy's down. We're gonna add this back. Then we're gonna tow it backwards. We'll see if this works a little bit better. It's Jod's recommendation here. Holy hell. we're going so much faster. All right, let's see really quick. Lock all doors. All right, switch seat. Cool. Oh, look at that. A wreck that we can dismantle. Let's come here. Let's go over to propane tank. Refill that torch. Of course, I bet it's harder to see reversing in the fog. Yeah. I mean, we make do with what we have, right? It ain't perfect, but it'll do. It'll do, donkey. It'll do. About an hour and 45 minutes in for today. Okay, here we go. So now I'm gonna hop out here. We are gonna go ahead and dismantle this car wreck. Please. I don't trust it. Okay, hang on. Yeah, I'm gonna deal with these guys before they find me, because odds are I was gonna dismantle or be in the midst of dismantling and they were gonna try to dismantle me. Whoa! That was a miss. It was a swing and a miss, friends. All right, where's that put us? 892. Almost to that 1,000 Zed mark. All right, anybody else think we're okay? Let's return back to dismantling the car wreck. I want to get that welding up. All right, and that put us at 22 XP. All right, cool. And all this stuff that we can hopefully put on. Need to be able to reach both. Oh, come on. Let's see if I can. Just absolutely destroy this hitch. All right, we're gonna see if if that gets me close enough. All right, stuff that's on the ground, all that fun stuff. Yes, there we go. Put it in the trunk. I just don't want it to go to waste. A place for everything and everything in its place, right? And we have found metalworking, like benches and saws and stuff that we can use, that we can put in cars and take back to our base. So we'll keep that in mind. There's a couple survivor homes that we're gonna need to hit up to bring some of that stuff back and centralize it, but this is good. All right, and then, all right, that is closed. Make sure nothing is gonna fall out. There we go, that is closed now too. All right. Back to reversing. All right, I think we got 2 more wrecks right here. All right, let's go to the trunk. Go to the aluminum, or sorry, the propane tank. Refill that welding torch. There's a good car there. All right. Now, let's turn that off. I just want to double check, see what we're dealing with. Okay. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down that way. But we seem to be safe. Dude, there's a big ass stuffed Spiffo. I bet you we can pick that up. Bro, come on. I think I actually have to go inside the building before it'll let me. All right, well, as long as there's nobody else kind of coming from the side here, we are gonna go ahead and dismantle this car wreck. Get more access to the tools that we will use in our mechanical skill. And this is gonna put us, we're at 22. Now we're at 39. All right, let's fill up again. All right, let's dismantle this car wreck. Yeah, so once we revisit the that wreck yard that's near us, this will easily get us through welding 2. All right, let's back this bad boy up and see. Yeah, we got 67 out of 124. Cool. So when we get back to the house, we'll drop off all of the stuff that we've been collecting here. All right, back it up. All right, the stuff from the ground. All right, those all gonna go in the car. About 17. And our welding, where are we at now? 46 out of 150. We're about a third of the way there after dismantling 3 cars. Well, I think that we're going to be able to find another 9 to 12 to dismantle. And then all of the steel bars, steel rods, and stuff like that, we will drop off at the house. Because right now, I mean, all of the grinding from dismantling things, we are going to inevitably be utilizing those tools to build things that are metal. Getting steel plates and steel sheets and stuff like that are going to be helpful too. We'll be able to start making like steel fences and steel walls. Iron scrap, yep, metal stuff. And this is all stuff too that will also be able to utilize in blacksmithing and the forge and all that. We're at 88 out of 124, and then we still have the other car too. We're a little bit hungry. Little bit. Let's hop in the car and take a look in the back. All right, we're gonna eat some of our chips, salt and vinegar chips. All right, now that that is done, let's continue our trek. All right. So there's the Spiffos. All right, this is the main through street. Fucking John Wick. Oh, Jesus. I take it back. Take it back. Come on. About to say we're John Wicking it as I slam into a stop sign. All right, this goes this way. This is difficult. All right, Spiffo van. We're gonna keep you here on. I already got propane tanks loaded into the other one, so I'm gonna hop in this guy. All right. John Wick would probably kill all the Zeds with a single pencil, unsharpened. Says Kitten Rit. But you're a close second. Thanks. I am the arbiter of death in a Spiffo van. All right, this van. All right, I'm gonna back this up down the alleyway here. All right, cool, and then I can still get out. All right, headlights are off. All right, and then what we're working with here. All right, we got chips and stuff. Cool. All right, going around front, there's the hotel. The Waits Motel, everyone. All right, then we're gonna go around the back here. And the gate should already be open. Holy moly, there's a lot for us to dismantle here. Just a lot. Okay, dude, and look at that, a fire truck. Okay, hang on. So we're gonna park right here. Do a little bit of investigating here. See what we can find. There might be a fire axe in there. All right, my dude is dead. All right, let's take a look at this fire truck. A firefighter axe, what'd I tell you? That is phenomenal. All right, we got a tarp in here and the vehicle key to the fire department Chevy. All right, so there's a couple of keys. We've got two different McCoy lumber. Let's drop one of these. We got the key to Smokies. I'll drop it. Key to the clinic. I'll drop it. And we will put this key in here. All right. And then in terms of, so there's a tarp. There is a hatchet. Might be out of gas. Okay. So luckily, I mean, even though this is out of gas, it looks to be in fantastic shape. We have a gas can here. I can siphon some of this, which I'm going to do right now. And this is taking 91. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to take a little bit of gas out of this car. We're going to fill up that one. And you know what? I mean, I might as well even check if they're attach this. No. I want to see if there's any gas in any of these guys. Nope. All right, we will siphon some gas out of here. And then we'll move that right outside the exit. There we go. Add that gasoline. All right, and then we will plop this in the back again. This firefighter axe and another empty bucket. So now we have 4 total buckets. And this is a phenomenal car for us to have because if I press V here, you'll notice we have a light bar that we can turn on. We've got the light bar, and then I don't know if this one has a siren. I would have thought that this one had the siren because of the lights, but we are able with like police cars and this type of vehicle to really go in loud and like set sirens and stuff like that for us to draw in a ton of people. And that would be perfect, right? If we use that as a strategy in conjunction with Molotovs or an aerosol bomb with a timer. All right, in terms of other vehicles that exist in here, all right, I'm not seeing anything that piques my interest, so I'm just gonna start going with the dismantling. All right, we need to refill from our propane tank. And I'm just gonna go around and start dismantling these things. So I think that, I don't know if we have welding 2, but the book welding 2. But once we level this up, we are absolutely gonna go back and make sure that we don't need to read another book. Looks like we will be doing yet another tow job here. All right, and that left us with a bunch of sheets. I want to dismantle the police car, see if anything fun happens. Refill. I did check, at least without mods, there is not a definitive way for you to refill propane tanks. So it's not like we can go to some massive place that has propane and refill our propane tanks. .4:30 in the PM. And our welding is now at 67.5 out of 150. But I would like to be able to repair vehicles with steel sheets. So that is why I am grinding this right now. Because we got our mechanics up to 3. I figure, we can at least try to get our welding in the same spot. And just to show you, right, so there's electrical wire. Let's fill this up one more time. And then I'm going to go to the vehicle mechanics here so you can see. But like the combination of electrical, mechanics, and welding, they all kind of serve their own little purpose. So like the mechanic skill handles the installation and uninstallation of things. But you need the welding in order to be able to like replace the panels and stuff. So the hood is in 12%, right? So to repair this, right, I need at least 1 steel sheet and a mechanics of 2 and a welding of 1. If I can get 2 steel sheets Chance of success is 100%. Potentially repairs 31, 67. Okay, so let's see really quick. Do I have steel sheets on the ground? I do. I have 1 steel sheet on the ground available to me. And over here, we got some screws and stuff. But let's go back since our mechanics are available here. Let's see if we can fix the hood. So this hood, repair. 1 steel sheet repairs 67%. And look at that, bam. All right, the windshield, right? To uninstall, you need a screwdriver. Where is, I have a multi-tool. Just remove handy knife from belt. Weird that, oh, okay, I can uninstall. Yeah, handy knife, okay, cool. So I can uninstall the broken window and then to install the good one, we would need to remove a different one. So this is at 33%. Let's just go see if I can even find, yeah, like this one over here, right? Can I take out a windshield from this one and successfully move it? All right, so this is also a decent car. It's got 97% battery. The gas actually has stuff in it. But if I right click this windshield, recommended mechanics 3 out of 5. The car key is required, it says. Well, that's bogus. So let's see, can I hotwire the car? Can't get in there. All right, I'm going to hold the crowbar here. We're gonna smash front right. Then I can get in. I can press Z, press 1. I'm in the driver's seat now. Taking a look at what we got in here. There's duct tape, matchbook, all that other stuff. We'll unlock the trunk. We'll unlock the car doors. Now I should be able to take the windshield off. Opening the trunk, nothing inside of it. But let's see. Okay, so I don't have the key, but there is gas. So if I press V, you will now be able to see hotwire engine. And there we are. We're gonna move this closer toward our car. For some reason, backing up just makes you move way faster. All right. All right, then I can press V and shut it off. All right, looks like we've brought some attention our way. All right, our guy is getting a little bit thirsty. Let's move a jar of water. Looks like we got a Zed over here. Let's smoke a cigarette, take him out, and then I'm gonna try to pull out the glass. And we can do some more disassembly. All right, we are tired, but we are gonna go ahead and take some caffeine pills. Should help. All right, now that moodle goes away. Let's go ahead and dismantle the glass here, see if we can move it. I mean, it's worth, oh, hang on. Jesus Christ almighty. All right, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fuck me. Okay, there's a lot of them. All right, we are going to uninstall the window. Yeah, uninstall, please. Thank you. Uninstalling windshield. I feel like I'm not fully uninstalling it. Not sure what is going on there. Okay, cool. Windshield, standard vehicle, it says. Oh, shit, but this is a heavy duty. I don't know that we're going to be able to... All right. We will uninstall this one. Install, yeah, see, we need, okay, heavy duty. Shit. Well. Damn, dude, and there's a lot there. Okay. Well, at this point, I might as well just put the fucking thing back on. Okay. All right, we're gonna install the windshield again. So damaged it a little bit. Okay, now it's at 65%. Well, interesting. And then the mechanics, I mean, okay, well, this is at least giving us some mechanic experience. This windshield's at 33%. And our mechanic skill is at 392. Okay, well, we repaired a little bit. When we need to use heavy-duty vehicles. I didn't realize that the windshield was going to be something that applied to that as well. A lot of zeds over there. All right, let's try dismantling a couple more cars, see if we can get ourselves to welding level 2. We're at 81 out of 150. We probably need like 4 or 5, maybe 6 more cars. Whoa, okay. Now that is going to draw some zeds that way toward our home. All right, our welding is now at 93 out of 150. Yep, and you see them moving. And look, dude, there's the chickens. Chickens right by our home. All right, let's dismantle this car wreck. All right, well, this is a heavy-duty vehicle. I'm not sure what the windshield looks like. If it's more than 33%, I mean, might as well do it. And we're currently working on Mechanics 4. Yeah, okay. Let's take a look at this car and see how it's doing. Holy shit, it's doing bad, friends. All right, well, we can at least try to uninstall and reinstall some things. Get the mechanic experience, right? So that didn't work. Conditions at 12%. Try to uninstall it again. That did not work. All right, we're gonna try it one more time. All right, and then I can reinstall. The 6%, we're gonna try it, put it back. All right, so we got that experience, and then let's go to the lights. Left headlight, and then we'll reinstall it. Get the right headlight and reinstall it. This is purely to get that experience. Taking it out, putting it back. All right, and then that, yeah, look at that. Now we're at 522, and we were at like 390 just a moment ago. So taking out the windshields and putting them back and all of that, while it might seem stupid or tedious at first, it is absolutely something that you want to do. We're in a good spot to do it. I mean, being here at the the junkyard. All right, let's take this windshield out. All right, and then reinstall the windshield. Trunk lid to uninstall. You need to have a ratchet or a wrench. Okay. The trunk itself just needs steel sheets and welding 3. Okay, so see, welding absolutely comes in handy. All right, let's take the headlights out. And then while I'm taking these out, show you over here, 592, right? We go from 592, install, we are at 597. Kind of killing multiple birds with one stone here. And I should probably come back here with a wrench, because then that gives us the ability to do more. Right, and then the windows. Just like take things apart, put it right back. All right, install the front left window again. All right, front right window. The front white window. Might damage this one. Nope. And the recommended scale. Okay, yeah, since we have the recommended level of mechanics, it looks like we're not going to. We can take out the side windows, it looks like. There it is, level 4 mechanics. And so 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so now we need to read the next mechanics book before we start doing anything else there. All right, well, mechanics level 4, cool. And then let's see if we can get our welding to level 2 by the end of this day. Yeah, we're at 103 out of 150. Absolutely possible. And if we go back and we have that mechanics book and the next welding book, that's kind of what I would end up working on. If I get mechanics to level 5 and welding to level 3, I think that we are in a really solid space for taking care of ourselves moving forward. And everything that I'm doing, I'm approaching through the lens of long-term survival. Right? To be able to survive long term, you're going to have to do many different things. You're going to have to forage. You're going to have to fish. You're going to have to manage your mechanics. You're going to have to do electronics. Just plenty of stuff for us to do. All right, there's one dude over there. And at least we've done the due diligence to go around and fill up, take the propane, read the books, do everything that we can to kind of set ourselves up for this initial leg of success. Dude, our light foot is almost level 5. Oh, come on. And I've already taken the standpoint, if anything goes wrong with this character in terms of build 42 unstable, updating, and just screwing us, I will first and foremost be utilizing the debug menu. If like my skills get wiped, since we have a record of where those were, I will be able to fix that. And if Frank Fultz is to die in this universe, I do have some background characters that I've kind of been working on behind the scenes. So if Frank were to die, while I don't normally remain in the same world and I usually start over, I think that it would be better storytelling for us to see who else out there in the zombie apocalypse related to Mr. Frank Fultz in this universe could exist out there in Kentucky. Because when you do die, your character, if you turn into a zombie or whatever, I think all of your stuff is left behind. All of the books that you had found, all of the fun stuff that you've collected. So it just kind of becomes another, like another story. This is how you died, right? So if we're able, what is this? I need to refill. Looks like we used all of one of those. Are we completely out of propane tanks? Don't think so. No, okay, one of them was empty. All right, where are we at welding wise? This will probably push us over. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so this is gonna be the last thing that we dismantle for the day. And this should get us to welding level 2. Hell yes. All right, so with all of that, so now we do not get the bonus multiplier anymore. We're gonna have to read the next level of welding, its book, if we want that. So what I would recommend now, before we finish out our day here, I would recommend that I collect our vehicles here, kind of load them up with the supplies from the car wrecks. All right, that should be good enough. And then once I get the trunks and stuff loaded, I'll set this out there. But just to kind of aggregate everything so I don't got to come back and do it all later. Might as well do a little bit of it right now. All right, wrapping that up there. This should probably be the last thing. Yeah, last steel bar. All right, picking up more stuff. All right, so there's some stuff down there, stuff here, stuff there. This trunk is about halfway there. And then we've learned already how to like cut steel sheets into making them smaller. All right. This car can probably load up what is right here. All right, all the stuff on the ground. All right, I'm hearing a Zed. All right, and once this is loaded, yeah, this is about as much as this is gonna hold. I'm gonna stick this outside the gate, All right, this guy we can turn off. Shit's getting glorious. All right, Frankie boy, I think it's time for us to head back to the house. All right, might as well real quick just fill up this propane tank. Actually, fill up from the propane tank. And tap into our tortilla chips. Another 2.5 hours, my goodness, friends. 2.5 hours already. All right, we'll smoke after we put on our hat and our glasses. We're gonna put the welder's mask and stuff in the truck. Got an empty jar. All right, the hose going back in the bag. Got the rope. Cereal, dry ramen. All right, and then we can kind of go around the side of the building here. All right. Woo! Don't want to hit that pole. All right, now we got some friends. Ooh, is that a big hiking bag too? Guy's got a duffel. Let's see if he's got anything in it. Is that a... Yeah, okay. It was like, it's a purple duffel bag. I just wanted to make sure it wasn't a sleeping bag. Nothing in the duffel bag. But you know what? We'll take the duffel bag. Always good to have a go bag. Something filled with cans or whatever. And we can load that up somewhere else. All right, everything's looking fine from here. Let's go ahead and open up. Welcome home, everyone. And there we are. Awesome. Wonderful. All right. Let's see about books really quick. Welding 1. Okay. Mechanics 2. That was for 3-4. Welding 2. Yep. Okay. So we're absolutely going to want to do that. And then we have maintenance. There's 5. We need maintenance 4. And then on the ground, what we got? Tracking. Okay. We need to move. Let's place this duffel bag. Place it on the table here. All right, we are gonna rest. And while we are resting, I'm gonna pull out the canteen. All right, I'm gonna start reading welding. While we are reading this, I am going to go use the restroom real quick. I will BRB. One moment, my friends. All right, fantastic. I am back. And it looks like we have not been devoured alive yet. Fantastic. All right, I'm gonna speed up some time. All right, we will continue reading until about midnight. All right, let's go ahead and we are not tired enough to sleep. It's because of those caffeine pills. Okay, well, if we're not tired enough to sleep for right now, then I'm going to continue reading through the night. Speed this up. Bathroom bangers, toilet tunes. Kittenrit says, I feel like this is the part where you could add elevator music. All right, our guy needs a drink of water and he needs to smoke a cigarette. God damn, dude, I just can't win. It's just one thirsty bastard. And it has not rained in a couple of days too. All right, where we're at, 94. All right, well, I guess I can smoke a cigarette. Yeah, empty beer, empty pop can. Anything else? We got fruit jam, empty pop cans here. There's whiskey, there's wine. You know what? Let's get shitty and drink half a wine. We're not using painkillers. A little bit tipsy, and we're gonna read more about welding. All right, let's continue. Hey, look, we got a cork from that. Okay, so update: 899 zeds killed. My friends, we are just shy of 100, or 101 away from getting to our 1,000 zeds. Wine and welding, yes. Fine dining and breathing, and then you've got fine welding and reading. Now, am I gonna be tired now? Oh, it's raining! Oh my God, it's raining. All right, we're going to sleep. Yes. Okay. 1 month, 12 days, 17 hours in. Container info. All right, so now we're finally starting to collect rain. We've got rain being collected here and at the other base. What do you think Frank dreams about? That's a good question. I don't know. The finer things in life. Oh, dude. Okay, and he's got a glass of normal water here. Got good water. An empty jar. Fruit jam, coffee. I'm gonna drink the other half of the wine. All right, someone is once again screaming and having a horrible time. All right. My rain collector barrels barely collect anything now, but the water troughs collect a lot. Says Vanered. Make sure I'm saying that correctly. Let's see how they're doing. Container info. Yeah, it's at like 8 liters, which a sink holds 20. Yeah, I mean, not impressed by that amount of rain, unfortunately. But what we can do, we will have to fill up. We got pots over here, so I can fill up the pots and some of this water. Actually, hang on. We're gonna transfer liquid. This is good water. We will put canteen right there. Max pour. All right, and then empty bottle. Okay, and now taking this pot that we have, we will do a transfer liquid from there into the pot. And you'll notice that it says that the water is tainted. So we're gonna kill a couple birds with some stones here. So I'm gonna take that painted pot, put it in. We're gonna grab some more empty pots here. Transfer liquid. Take an empty pot, plop it there. Fill it up. All right. Fill that one up. Fill that one up. All right, so now we're gonna take all of our pots of water, all 4 of them, which is 1.5, so 6 liters. And then we will turn this guy on. And while it's on, you're gonna notice when I speed up time, now you don't have tainted water, right? All right, let's turn this off. And you know what? I will keep those water pots in there, but just make sure that that's off. Okay, cool. We're gonna finish reading welding. Try sitting down, resting, finishing this book. keep going. Got 60 pages left. We're feeling much safer about doing this, thanks to the walls that we've built. Fantastic. Okay, now we have a 5 times multiplier for levels 3 and 4 on the welding side of things. So let's plop that book. You know what? Let's take the books that we don't need to read anymore, put them on the ground. We've got aiming 2, which would be nice for us to read, but let's take a look really quick. So the mechanics, right? We need the book for mechanics 5 and 6, which was mechanics 3. And I think mechanics 3 might be at our other home. In the interim, really quick, I'm going to take a look at some of the magazines that we have not read. There's agriculture, animal care 2. All right, tailoring. There's mechanics 2, maintenance 2. All right, and then I think that I have it on the floor. Yeah, magazine. I think that's cooking 3 over there. Cool. Yeah, let's read these magazines because I think one of them is like fishing 2. I have that in the car, don't I? Yeah, let's go. We're gonna sit in the car and read this. All right, sliding over. Cool. There's Welder Monthly, Fashionable, Cereal. It's maybe in this one. Yep, delicious meals, good cooking. All right, yeah, we're gonna move. What the hell happened to my other inventory? Okay, there we go. I hit I on accident. All right, then, yeah, in the back here, we've got the flyers and all that stuff. I want my magazines. Yes, cool. That's junk. And then here we got magazines, recipes. Okay, let's read how to make the fishing net. It's 3 p.m. already. All right. Then we're going to read how to make the breaded shrimp, the onion rings, cabbage rolls, and guacamole. All right, this one's going to teach us to make bread dough, baguettes, and biscuits. All right, this one's going to teach us how to make a makeshift ham radio. Then we've got sushi, how to make sushi, and maki and onigiri. All right, this one's going to teach us how to make a makeshift walkie-talkie. All right, that looks like all of the magazines have been read. Let's go drop these off now that they're done. Got a t-shirt, a Spiffo t-shirt for some reason. Interesting. All right, we're gonna smoke a cigarette. Then we're gonna need to eat some food. Character is getting a little bit ornery. All right, we got cereal and stuff. Would be a good idea for us to make. All right, let's grab the cereal. We'll leave the chips. All right, and then just double checking in here. Yep, bunch of bowls. There's the cook show. We'll take that, the remote, the electrical wire. We want the cow's milk, cereal, oats. Yeah, okay. A bunch of our cooking supplies. We'll take the popcorn. A lot of engine supplies. Steel. All right, we got the propane tanks here. Yeah, we're gonna transfer these propane tanks. Animal Care 3. This baseball bat. We can you can reinforce it. Interesting. But we can stick the saw blade through it too. We get nuts and bolts. Use the bat. We need a short bat. Stone chisel. But that's a saw blade wooden bat. Garden fork head. Okay, but we don't have. Okay, but we do have the sheet metal reinforced baseball bat. We do have the saw blade one. Need a short bat or a wooden mallet. Okay. Rail spikes. Okay, well, I will leave that be for now. We're gonna take these bowls. We're gonna go inside, fill them up, and then I'm gonna take a look real quick. This barrel, yeah, see, it holds 600 liters, and it's only full about 8 liters right now. 8.8 liters, which this other one is probably somewhere near that. 14. Okay, yeah, we wanted to make a bowl of cereal. Let's go ahead and we're gonna do fluid. We'll do transfer liquid. All right, and we'll move from the cow's milk. All right, we're gonna pour that bowl of milk, and then from that bowl of milk, we will pour cereal. Awesome, and then I will eat that bowl of cereal. I need to move these propane tanks back. And we're gonna take the ones that are empty, drop them back off on the ground here. All right, so both of these tanks are empty. We're gonna place them on the ground inside. We have 3 empty propane tanks. I'm telling you, the troughs would be full already. Okay, yeah. So maybe we can either build our own or find one and just move it over. Sounds like they need to do a little bit of balancing. All right, I'm gonna plop this one in. And since I'm kind of bouncing around between a couple of different things right now, it's not the end of the world. I just needed to make sure that I had some water. All right, we are gonna go ahead and detach this propane tank. And we're gonna be moving it. I just wanted you to know they are broken. Yeah, they definitely seems that way. All right, and then I've got the cereal and all that other stuff. We're gonna gonna pop this in here. Okay, so in the fridge, right, we can put our bowls. I'm gonna keep like things together. So the cereal and the oats and everything like that is gonna be in here. Put the margarine in here. I'll put the fruit jam as well. And then in the drawer next to it, we'll put the peanut butter and the popcorn, the tea bags, the salt and pepper. All right, this animal care 3 is going there. All right. This cook show 1, we're gonna put that in here. This cooking 3, I'm gonna move over. We are going to want to read that too. Place it on the ground, my little reading couch here. All right, electrical wire, TV remotes and stuff. Set them over here. All right, that looks good to me. All right, we got another hacksaw. All right. Hells to the yeah. Okay, cool. Coo, ka-choo. I'll move that. We're gonna go back here. We will want to transfer liquid. And then we're gonna go from the water pot. Damn it, dude, they keep making me do this. That's a bug that they need to fix too, where it's like you had to have it in your inventory to be able to transfer it. All right, now I say we just go ahead and start dismantling those wrecks. Try to finish that off today. That's probably where we will end the episode. Yeah, we're like almost 3 hours in. I figure let's see if we can get more welding skill, and then we'll be moving on to mechanics, the next level of mechanics after that, probably in the next episode. Right. And we are back. All right. All right, we're gonna wear that. We will equip the welder's torch. We will, all right, we are already full. Cool, so I should be able to just dismantle, yes. Wonderful, all right, so we are currently at 15 experience. We're gonna see how much this will net us. And if we feel safe, we'll probably start speeding up time. All right, so we went from 15 to 47. So huge, 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 those multipliers. Yeah, and I'm glad that we have enough propane here. And if I can ask you, if you are currently watching and you are not subscribed, if you click that subscribe button, it goes a long way. We are currently 117 subscribers strong. Channel has been really seeing an uptick lately. And I say that because we got 21 concurrent viewers right now. So if that is you and you haven't clicked the subscribe button yet and you like the content, I really encourage you to click that button. We are going to be adding some more content to the channel here soon. We're going to be doing RimWorld as in addition to the Frank Fultz Chronicles here on the Just Some Dude channel. Yeah, look at that, 68.75. 105 out of 300. Now we're getting like wire. Awesome. Yeah, Frank is a much more well-rounded character at this point. That light-footed is right on the precipice, man. And it looks like we just jumped to 118 subscribers. So I just want to say thank you to whomever clicked that button. Really, really greatly appreciate it. Welcome to the duderhood. Welcome to the fam. And those mechanics, the mechanic book, I do think that I've got an additional, I've got mechanics level 3. I think that book is at the safe house on Main Street. Rit says, I'm already subscribed, but you should sweeten the deal. Give us some gossip about Frank. Give it some gossip. Well, let's see. 1 month, 13 days, 5 hours in. I don't know, maybe he's been chewing on his fingernails out of anxiety. What do you think Frank misses most about the before times? Asks Kitten Rit. I would say probably some semblance of normalcy and not having people trying to break down his walls. It's a very exhausting way to live whenever you're worried that somebody's going to come busting through at any point, you know? LOL, yeah, I'd miss that too. That and probably taking a hot shower, I would say. Being able to use the frickin' washer and dryer. But I'm out of washer, or like out of water for the washer. So unless I spend time hooking that shit up. I'm like nervous to build the staircase and try to put a water, like rain collector barrel up on the roof and do all that, because the odds of something going wrong and me clipping through the roof and then breaking my legs and dying in a stupid, pathetic way is probably high if I do that. We're close to welding level 3. We're at 200 out of 300 experience. Kittenrit says, if I were in his situation, I would definitely like a hot shower or a bath and clean bed sheets. Yeah, it goes a long way to being happy. Oh no. Okay, hang on. Gotta fill up more. Apparently I ran out of one of those propane tanks. We're almost out of propane. Gonna have to hunt for more. Dude, what is going on? What? Okay, refill. Apparently I took the propane tank, put it in my inventory. There we go. Also restaurants, so he doesn't have to eat rotten food or cook for himself every time. Yeah, but I will say that, you know, becoming a connoisseur of the chef variety in the zombie apocalypse has been a fun thing. All right, gonna fill this up again. So I feel like I missed it maybe. Did he find the sushi recipe? Yes, he did. Yeah, we just read that probably like 20 or 30 minutes ago. I'd found it along the way, but hadn't tapped into some of the flyers and recipe books until recently. So I did find the recipe, but now, of course, we're gonna have to go through the painstaking process of finding rice vinegar. When we find that rice vinegar and we go fishing, I think we probably have enough rice already on hand somewhere. Welding, we are at 253 out of 300, so we're almost to welding level 3. I'm gonna need to smoke a cigarette here soon. There we go. Okay. And fill up my propane thing. Is it? All right. So now I need to fill this one up. All right. Got another empty propane tank. All right. That should probably empty that one. Yep. We got one good propane tank left. All right, and I'll just hold on to the tank. All right, we're going to disassemble whatever else we can. And this is fantastic. Gives us a lot of metal parts for us to explore the blacksmithing. There is welding level 3, my friends. All right, now let's, just out of curiosity, I just want to weigh. Okay, so the amount of propane that is left, we got about half of a tank of propane left. And the next level is going to require 750. And obviously, I think that we have enough cars here. I just don't know that we have enough propane. And it would make sense for us to maybe hold on to propane that we currently have to use to repair the car, do different things like that. And out of curiosity, let's inspect. I think it uses like 2. All right, if I was to get the suspension. All right, so this requires intermediate mechanics, recommended skill of 6. You need to have a jack on these guys. Those tires, yep, you need a jack and a tire iron or a lug wrench. With the door panels, rear windshields, bodywork. Yeah, so it takes The welding is level 3. Okay, so the chance of success now is always going to be 100%. When it comes to uninstalling, they want a mechanic level of 5 for the windshield, which is recommended. Otherwise, you see we get 65% chance of success, 35% chance of damage. But the hood, we are able to do the repairs now. So potentially repairs 55%, right? And that's at 70%. The rear windshield is at 71%. You got the doors, right? To uninstall. So it's straight up just it's not a repair. It's an uninstallation and then an installation of the doors to fix it. Under the hood, you've got your battery, right? That we can fix. The engines, taking the engine part, the repairing of the engine. You need 1 spare engine part, and look at that. We need mechanic level 5. So level 5 is going to be of the utmost priority for us. Oh, Jesus. Okay, that was me. Fuck, I thought that was a Zed just coming through. 9 p.m. Let's hold on to the remaining propane tank. We'll refill the torch once. All right. We will pull this guy forward. And you know what? Like, I want to successfully get this guy back. What if I made like a daisy chain of them? All right, we're gonna attach this guy. And no shit, I'm gonna try it. We're gonna see if I can daisy chain this. All right, turn that one off. No, you can't. Okay. Good to know. All right. This is gonna be a bit of a process here. Pardon me as I whip it around. Ugh. All right. We're hauling ass backwards. Jesus Christ. This is harder than I give it credit for. All right, we're gonna go around this way. Yeah, there we go. That's probably the better route. Brother. Holy Jesus Christ. Yeah, and we've damaged the trunk a little bit. Oh, that's okay. We've got a Spiffo one. Okay. Let's not slam this nice firefighter car into anything. he says as he almost hits. Okay, here we go. Let's back this guy up. All right. We will detach you. All right, give me a second here. All right. And that should be good enough. All right. That's inside. All right. And then I've got the fire truck here. Okay. Now with this guy, we're going to smoke a cigarette real quick. Then I want to take this back to, I think, our starter home that probably needs to have the Jenny refilled. All right. It is 10 p.m. We're gonna drive this fire truck. All right, I'm gonna be pretty careful. Turn the lights on. All right, lots of them. Lots of Zeds here. All right, we're going around the back. Oof. Successful dodges. All right, we're back in the starting neighborhood. Whip it around. And here we are. All right, firefighter axe. We're gonna take that. Make sure that the keys, this is turned off. The lights were on. There we go. All right. All right, this generator, 96% fuel, 79% condition. All right, so we're still doing all right. We should have some water here in our buckets and down there. All right, welcome back to the main home. Oops. Close that. All right, now let's see. We got more magazines. Home Security Monthly. Add short range. What the fuck? Okay, hang on. All right, hang on. We're gonna see who is out here, huh? You. All right, one down. Now, I do have extra floodlights that are in the truck that are at McCoy. So I wanted to bring those back eventually too. You see those floodlights really, really come in handy outside. Yep, so they broke my window. Assholes. Where I left my rotten ice cream and all that. Okay. All right, we'll close this up. Turn that off. Now, I wanted to double check my books. Agriculture. Do we got mechanics 3? Yes, we do. We do, friends. And mechanics 4. Okay. Yeah. All right, and what is this? Italian Delights will teach us how to make pizza, and this will be add short-range motion sensor to bomb, medium and long-range motion sensor to bomb. All right, explosive schematic teaches add medium-range motion sensor to bomb. Well, we have the technology that'll teach us how to do all of this stuff. Okay, cool. Well, what I'm gonna do, let's also take a look. I should have chicken in here. It is still fresh. Hell yeah. All right, cool. And we got fresh eggs, we got lard, we got the maple syrup, and a crackle bar. I'll eat my crackle bar. Hey, we got a cold pack. All right, I can take the welder's mask. We're gonna take the welding supplies, and we're gonna set them down for now. Welding torch and welder's mask set in the closet. All right, let's rest in this chair. We're gonna read through our schematics. Yep, so now that other schematic doesn't matter. All right, so as far as bomb goes now, right? All right, so we still can't make an aerosol bomb itself, but we can add timers and we can add, ooh, look at that. Can perform due to readable recipe in the inventory. Oh, interesting. But yeah, we can add the remote triggers and all of that stuff, but we still cannot make an aerosol bomb. We need to find that recipe. But that's why we've been collecting the sparklers, the aluminum foil, there's duct tape, and we've got like the hairspray. So let's put those back. All right, we're gonna put on our boonie hat again. Put on our glasses. All right, my friends. Let's start wrapping it up for today. Fill up on our water here. All right, my firefighter axe. I'm gonna place you right here for the time being. All right, my friends, let's take a seat in the corner and let's review what we have done. oh, snap. Oh, Frank he's got some dance moves. All right, let's maybe sit right here. Fantastic, pulling up the map. All right, my friends, So we started back at our northern safe house with our functional car and keys and our wall that we had built around it. We investigated a little bit. We went up north into the industrial that we have not explored, found 3 bags of concrete, found some plaster powder. We made our way out to a little deserted home spot over here that we can say safe to sleep. All right, so we've got another small little safe house and a part of our nomadic run. We did not continue working down Irma Drive because had we done that, that would have taken us way out of town. But we drove beyond our back inside this area that contains trailer parks. And then through doing so, we were able to find these car wrecks that we ended up dismantling, right? And just disassembled several vehicles. At this point, that leaves us with Welding Level 3. We have read our next welding book, so that helps us with levels 3 and 4. So we're gonna hold off on continuing our welding journey until we have even more propane, but welding 3 should suffice for right now. I would like to get this to welding level 5, but welding level 3 is a huge step up. We can now repair our vehicles in a much more timely and efficient manner. Our mechanics, we leveled up today to level 4 as well. We're shooting to get that to level 5 so that we can more reliably take things off of our car, fix the engine, do all of that fun stuff. Looking forward, we still have a little bit of a ways to go before we hit level 8 in our carpentry. And then we're gonna want to revisit our cooking and electrical here soon as well. I'd like to get, like I said, get to level 5 is a decent goal for these things. We have still yet to touch our tailoring, which we're gonna be doing to provide ourselves with some more protection. We haven't touched our pottery yet either. In the upcoming series, or a couple of episodes, I'm looking at moving us toward doing more of our foraging, our fishing, trapping, and tracking as well. But as you can see, based off of this map, we have explored like the entirety of Muldraugh. So with maybe an exception for some of these homes that are over here. But we are going to be spending a little bit more time over the preceding episodes, just kind of, finishing up our midterm, early to midterm survival skills, setting ourselves up for success so that we can work more toward on our long range skill, or our long-term goal of driving to Echo Creek. We have 902 zeds killed, my friends. 1 month, 13 days, 10 hours into the apocalypse, with that crowbar being our favorite weapon. We have 98 more zeds to kill before we hit that 1,000 mark. I just want to thank you, everyone, for 20, I think this makes episode 28. For 28 episodes of the Frank Fultz Chronicles. It's been a pleasure to share with you. I have been wanting to play this game and share it with others for quite a long time. I've been playing it for 10 years. So if you enjoyed this, please click the subscribe button. As always, I am just some dude on the internet. My friends, I'll see you next week.